Morning glory, evening grace, brother and sister. Let's have everybody back along with us here with our Temperance Awakening. And we'll be doing our 7th vaping lecture here, going to continue what we started last time, addressing parents. And so parents and when dealing with kids with vaping. And then after this, we will begin our therapeutic lectures. And so we really look forward to getting into day 1 the next time which we meet, which will be uploaded tomorrow. And first looking here at something called Pave the Way. P-A-V, all capitals, and then a small e, Pave the Way. And that actually is an acronym for Parents Against Vaping E-Cigarettes. PAVE started with 3 women, Dinah Alessi, Meredith Berkman, and Dorian Furman. Among them, these moms had 9 kids ages 7 to 19. They joined forces in spring 2018 after they discovered that their teen sons were juuling. The women researched the behavior and quickly realized that the use of flavored e-cigarettes, Juul in particular, had reached epidemic proportions. They founded PAVE as a grassroots response to vaping and its dangers, and the organization educates parents and empowers them to take action, which worked has worked pretty good so far, seeing that now, at the present time of this recording, Juul is no longer allowed to make e-cigarettes. Their message, we will not allow Big Tobacco 2.0 to take advantage of our kids, turning them into an entire generation of nicotine addicts. PAVE provides educational materials and other resources that you can access at parentsagainst.vaping.org. And now, talk, teach, test. And even if your teen hates or challenges everything you say, like many teens do, you still remain a powerful influence in his or her life as parents. Opportunities to discuss vaping with your teen can present themselves in many ways, like posting on social media, stories on television, passing a vape shop, or seeing someone who is vaping. Whatever the situation, have a conversation rather than a confrontation. Listen rather than lecture. Here are some of the most effective ways to steer kids away from vaping. Establish a vape and smoke-free home. Prohibit family and friends from smoking or vaping in your home or other personal space. Start early. Talk about vaping and smoking when your kid is in kindergarten, and don't stop. Teach the truths of vaping. Keep the conversation going as he or she gets older. When in doubt if your kid is vaping, test for the presence of nicotine. And keep conversations safe. Avoid direct questions that sound accusatory, such as, "Are you vaping?" Instead, use a more casual, non-judgmental approach, such as, "I've been hearing a lot about vaping lately. How popular is it at school? Has anyone you know gotten sick from it? What do you think about it? What do you imagine it does to a person's lungs?" And then have answers. One of the simultaneous joys and horrors of being a parent is that you never know what's going to come out of your kid's mouth. If he or she asked about vaping, respond honestly, but don't go over the top trying to frighten them. Most kids have nothing more than love nothing more than challenging their parents' boundaries. If you answer calmly and matter-of-factly, he or she is more likely to pay attention and listen to what you say. If your teen parrots one of the myths mentioned earlier, share the truth and the facts to support it. He or she might say, "Everyone's doing it, who cares?" And that honest answer is that you care, because no one else in the world cares as much about your child as you do. Make sure that he or she understands that. And now looking at, some kids who rebel. And it's hard to watch kids make bad decisions, but sometimes they need to do that to learn valuable lessons. It's important for you to voice your concerns along the way, but bad-mouthing your teen's friends might push him or her closer to them. At the same time, it's equally important that your child knows that he or she has to earn your trust. If you know that your kid's friends are vaping, be specific and direct. "I don't like that X and Y are vaping, but I know that you won't because I trust you." Always give your kid a positive reason to do what you say, in this case earning your trust and reaping its rewards, rather than a negative such as the thrill of breaking the rules and getting away with it. And if that doesn't work, as one for every kid, a tougher course of action is separating your child from the bad crowd, which you should do based on direct observation rather than suspicion. Kids need clear boundaries, so if you forbid yours from hanging out with a particular bad influence or group, make sure that the consequences are clear from the beginning, then follow through on them. The flip side of the coin is to weaponize your teen's rebellious nature against him or her. Teenagers naturally organize themselves into like-minded cliques, but They hate feeling like sheep. If your kid says something like, "Everyone's vaping, who cares?" point out that. If everyone's doing it, then you're just blindly following the herd and not making their own decisions about their own bodies. And then looking at this. Looking at the reward method. According to a 2019 study from Britain published in the Cochrane database of systematic reviews, monetary incentives for quitting smoking do help smokers kick their habit and remain smoke-free. For the study's investigators analyzed 33 randomized and controlled trials. The studies included more than 21,600 people in 8 countries and looked at whether financial incentives, such as cash payments, vouchers, or the return of money deposited by participants, helped them quit smoking. The researchers found that after 6 months or more, people who received financial rewards were about 50% more likely to have quit smoking than those in the control groups. We don't yet know whether the same type of reward system will work for teen vapors, but it's certainly worth a try and probably would. Create timed incentives to keep your teen focused on not vaping. And like what does your kid enjoy the most? Art, money, nature, travel, whatever that type of amusement might be. Make sure that he or she has a positive reason to avoid vaping. And it's pretty hard for anybody to argue with. My parents are paying me not to vape. And then slide into their DMs, direct messages. To help teenagers quit vaping, Truth Initiative created a first-of-its-kind program that offers support via texting. Kids who text the word QUIT to 202-804-9884 will receive daily text messages offering assistance and guiding them to resources designed specifically for them, including encouragement, tips, and tools for how to quit. If your child won't do it, consider texting it for him or her. And then also, don't scare them. Don't scare your kids. As a motive for personal change, fear is about as successful as nagging. That's something that just, doesn't work at all with anybody, particularly young people. When faced with all the negative results, they run further into denial and dig in their heels. Your teenager already knows that you disapprove of vaping, so stern lectures and scare tactics won't help. You're not going to hear, "Gee, thanks for pointing that out again," from a young person. Kids need to hear words of love and encouragement. Let them know how important they are to you. And make sure that you show it too. Tell them that you want them in your life for the rest of your life. Describe activities that you want to do together in the future. The promise of quality time together is stronger than the fear of getting sick. So that's what you need to emphasize to sell the quit. Then instead of punishing them, calmly connect them with the science. Explain that nicotine is highly addictive and especially dangerous when the brain is still under construction until about age 25. If your child goes through, like the program here, tolerate the frustration, moodiness, and snarkiness, and continue to give your full support through the rough patches of quitting an addiction as well as the achievements. And then lastly here, intervene. In an adult, stubbornness and tenacity can lead to success and triumph, but some kids are more willful than seems humanly possible. If your child continues to vape, despite a calm, loving approach, positive reinforcement, and clear, reasonable boundaries with fair consequences, it can feel almost maddening. Most people, including young people, don't change on their own. They need external encouragement and sometimes lots of it. And like if you have the book here, this book right here, Quit Vaping, by Mr. Brad Lamb, the appendix there in the book details how to undertake a loving intervention. But we'll mention some things here with some additional details that apply especially to teenagers. You know that you can't do it on your own, so you need the help of trusted people who matter to your kids, such as siblings, cousins, friends, teammates, coaches, teachers, aunts, uncles, and others. Make sure to include a mix of non-vapers and ex-vapers, people your child's age, and other adults whom your child admires or respects. Getting support from others is very vital. Gather this quit team with your teenager and offer him or her an invitation to change in which everyone participates. The 3 steps of the conversation should be the same basic pattern as your one-on-one conversation. And here these three things are. Number 1, as we said, kids need to hear love and encouragement. The quit team should explain first how important your teen is to each of them and what positive activities they want to do with him or her in the future. Number 2, they each should give a recent example or 2 of the negative impacts that your child's vaping has had on each relationship and how vaping will prevent the previously stated positive activities from happening. Then thirdly, the quit team should commit to helping your kid kick the habit and offer whatever support he or she needs, with accountability to include nicotine test strips to test your kid's urine or saliva. And those nicotine test strips are, readily available online. So just in conclusion there, be there for your teen and help him or her however you can, including as a guide through the QUIT program and what we're doing here. Again, be supportive and patient, love him or her unconditionally, and always make it clear that you're frustrated with the vaping behavior and not your child. And of course, our email address is there, like on YouTube where we first upload this and then put this on other places. So if you just click on the YouTube link, our email address is there if we can help you in any way as we begin the program with tomorrow, the next time that we upload here. And as I said, our email address is there to help you in any way. Try to answer any questions that you can. And we'll see you tomorrow with our first therapeutic lecture. So be ready, as we'll have a lot of things for people. And we'll see you then. Until then, ever can the shadows flee away. I am Dr. Cooper, and I love you, and I appreciate you.